My dear elegant ladies, what's the secret to being so irresistible even if you look just, unattractive by today's beauty standards? Before we start this video, I want you, if you're interested in elegance, transformation and living your best life, to hit the subscribe button because every Sunday I come out with a new video. So don't miss. Ladies, the truth is that you don't need to be born naturally pretty and you don't have to look like a potential beauty queen in order to stand out from the masses and really be that woman that makes head turn. But there are secrets on how to make that happen even if you're not conventionally what society says beautiful. Point number 1. So before I get into the deep substance of the subject, I need to get one shallow point of the way. Sorry, ladies. And this one actually I've seen quite a lot of. So non-traditionally beautiful women can actually position themselves as incredibly attractive if they have a killer body. Yes. And when I say killer body, it can be a body that is set to our cultural standards as beautiful, whatever that may be in your culture. Because the truth is, ladies, even if one person is not born with, traditionally what our society calls beautiful features, any person out there still has the power and control over improving the cards that they were dealt with genetically simply by taking action and improve their looks. You don't have to necessarily go into plastic surgery and start improving your face. You can actually just focus on improving your body. And by that, usually what really works, if we're talking in the Western culture, is to really work on looking fit, healthy, and toned, because that does raise the attractive factor. But like I said, ladies, it's important to take your own culture into account because we all have different standards of what's considered beautiful. So this might not be applicable for your culture, but I'm speaking about the Western culture. Now, to move away from the shallow point a bit, we need to talk about perhaps the ultimate ingredients of what makes a person pop. You see, I'm talking about what adds the ultimate wow factor, and I think that many of us know the secret by now. And that's confidence, ladies. But you see, confidence is what will give you that little edge. Maybe perhaps the most important tool that every lady out there should have. Because people are always attracted to those with confidence because those confident people, they just simply tend to be more relaxed, more themselves, and are easier to be around. So regardless of how you look, if you project yourself as this kind of, let's say, shy gray mouse, you'll instantly be less desirable and less interesting to have around. But confidence, ladies, confidence is sexy. Really. I'm serious. What's sexier than a woman who's comfortable in her own skin and knows her worth? So how do we become more confident? Now, this can be an ongoing journey in your life. It's not something that just happens overnight. I personally believe that it's all about accepting yourself, not strive for perfectionism. Accept your flaws and really become comfortable with your flaws, with how you really are, and that you don't have to play a role in order to please the image you want to have of yourself or to please others. Now, point number 3 is all about femininity. Like you heard me talk many times on this channel, but in particularly applying and understanding your feminine style. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, first of all, ladies, what comes naturally to you as the character that you are? Is it to be the bubbly and charming little girl? Or to be more the quiet, mysterious woman who is a little bit standoffish? Or maybe you are more kind of the nurturing and caring one who always sends out this really motherly and feel-good energy. Now, these 3 are just examples of some of the many different characteristic styles that exist within femininity. And I want you to really take this into account because there isn't just one way of being feminine. And you can be feminine in a format that actually suits your personality without having to reduce your personality and who you really are. So point number 3 is actually very much about allowing your femininity to really shine through your personality. You see, because femininity is such a great superpower that us women are blessed with having, but unfortunately, our current society keeps suffocating this femininity and looking at it as something to be ashamed of or that it's something weak. So instead, women step into their masculinity, and that is being celebrated. So we are moving away from femininity in our society, meaning that it becomes rarer and rarer, so that when we actually see a feminine woman, she stands out. And if you really add the psychological factor to it, you're going to notice that men will never turn down a feminine woman. Now, feminine style is one thing, but what about your elegant style personality? Who are you in the fashion department? Do you really know what style you belong to? Well, ladies, no need to wait no more, because I have actually created a fun style personality quiz where you can find out if your style is on the feminine, seductive, or conservative side, or maybe you are more of a total fashionista. Ladies, go to stylepersonalityquiz.com and take this quiz because, good news, it's absolutely free. Point number 4. Ladies, be positive. Turn that frown upside down and start looking more like this instead of like this. Ladies, I'm serious. Enough with the drama, enough with the bad vibes, enough with the bad attitude, the negativity. Do you know what? Overall, being that person who looks like one big dark cloud, always looks on the dark side instead of the bright side, I really want you to be the little Miss Sunshine as much as you can. So recently, I got introduced to a friend of a friend who was exactly like I just described to you. Anything but positive and happy. And even though that person did say, positive things sometimes, everything that person said sounded all so negative and so bothersome somehow. And I know that some of you ladies have shared with me in the comments before that you might have an appearance that make you look a little bit more negative. Let's say because of certain facial features or something else in your appearance that you simply cannot really control. And you know what? I get it. Some people do look like they're angry or negative, even if it's the total opposite. But the thing is that you need to then work extra hard to fix that by really being aware that, okay, I know that I come across this way, and now I have to really switch up the positivity an extra notch compared to other people, because through this canvas, it doesn't shine through otherwise. And the thing is, ladies, that positivity attracts people so much, and negativity just repel people. So this is why you really need to start thinking about what thoughts you put in here, meaning that, are you choosing happy thoughts or are you choosing negative thoughts? This is probably the mere basics, but also like things such as, how often do you smile? Do you really smile enough? Can you try and smile more often? How is your body language? Also, ladies, in conversation, do you choose negative topics to talk about, like gossip, drama, or just say that that person is ugly, this one is a bad one, Or do you choose positive conversation topics? What's important is that you try and find light even in the darkest moments, or in any moments really. If you are just looking for the negative everywhere, you're never going to be a positive person. So start by practicing this, because your life, trust me, is going to change dramatically when you start to choose a more positive approach to life rather than the negative. Last point number 5. Ladies, I want you to be that unapologetic, unbothered attitude, because it's a people magnet. You see, when people are themselves, just chilling, just busy pursuing their goals and living their best life, that energy is so contagious and so interesting, because people want to be around it. I have seen plenty of plain average looking women who have so many people, especially men, running after them because they have this attitude. They don't chase anyone. They're not in the slightest bit desperate for attention or male company. They just do themselves. They set boundaries, ladies, and they live accordingly. What matters is your attitude, and that's what's going to attract people, because the wow factor can easily wear off. But your character and your charm and your charisma and the way you just are is what's going to make people want to be with you and give you opportunities and want to befriend you and want to be in a relationship with you, etc. And ladies, there are plenty of other ways on how you can be irresistible, and I share those in my next videos. 5 ways you can be so irresistible he'll never want to leave. I will see you in that video.